Unit 1, Cognitive Psychology. Presentation 8, Strategies for Memory Improvement.
We'll begin by looking at some very simple verbal techniques. Number 1 on the list is acronyms. You take the first letter of each word and use these to make a word or phrase. For example, the colours of the rainbow can be remembered using the name of a man, Roy G. Biv.
Number 2 is acrostics. These are also used for remembering lists of words. This time, the first letters of each word to be remembered are used to construct a memorable sentence. Consider the following sentence. My very easy method just speeds up naming planets.
Number 3 on our list is using rhymes, particularly with a little tune to accompany them. A rhyme is essentially a group of words which hang together because of the rhythm. Examples include using the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to remember the letters of the alphabet. Or another example is 30 days hath September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31 save February alone. In this case there is no tune, but the words have a rhythm.
Number 4 on our list is chunking. We tend to group things in 3s or 4s, such as telephone numbers, to make them memorable.
Why do these verbal methods help us to remember? One explanation is that these verbal methods help to organise information, and psychological research shows that organisation is a key factor in good recall. In one study, Gordon Bauer and colleagues gave participants over 100 words to learn. Recall was at least twice as good if the words were presented in an organised hierarchy rather than in a random order. Our memories naturally organise themselves. Making links between items and using memory techniques merely speeds up this process.
The second explanation relates to the role of elaborative rehearsal or making things meaningful. This was demonstrated in a classic study by Craik and Tulving. They gave participants words to learn and for each word asked participants a question. One kind of question was, is the word in capital letters? This kind of question leads to shallow processing. Some of the other questions led to deeper processing because they required participants to think about the meaning of the word to be remembered. For example, is the word a piece of fruit?
When participants have to think about the meaning of the word, they put more thinking or effort into the word. This is what we mean by elaboration.
This meaning type of question produced the highest levels of recall. Memory techniques which supply meaning to an apparently meaningless group of words or numbers make the group of things more memorable.
There are also many visual techniques. The first and possibly the most effective is the method of loci. Basically, what you do is mentally walk through a familiar location, such as your house or the route you take to school. As you are walking, you place each item to be remembered in particular locations. As you deal with each item, you should stop and form a strong visual image in your mind of both the location and the object being put there. Later, when you wish to recall the information, just take a walk around your house or down that street. In your mind, of course.
The second visual method is the keyword method. This is a good method to use when associating pieces of information, such as when you are learning a new language and you need to associate the new word in the foreign language with its meaning in English. First, you convert the sound of the foreign word into familiar concepts. Then, you associate these concepts with an image that represents the actual meaning of the word.
For example, the French word for brain is cerveau, spelt C-E-R-V-E-A-U. To create a key word, you might think of serving up the letter O on a platter. The next step is to link this to the meaning of the word, which was brain. So now imagine serving up the letter O and a brain on that platter. The final visual technique is mind maps, and, in fact, any diagram. In a mind map, the main topic is placed at the centre of the diagram and then branching links are made to related topics. Small sketches and colours can be added to elaborate the meaning and produce a unique visual appearance which makes it more memorable.
Why do these visual methods work?
Organisation and elaboration again play a role, but there is one special explanation called the dual coding hypothesis. Alan Pavio suggested that words and images are processed separately, based on evidence that some brain-damaged individuals can process one, but not the other. Therefore, items will be remembered better if they are double encoded, once as a word and once as a visual image.
This was supported in a study by Gordon Bower. He gave participants word pairs to remember, such as cat and brick, and then later gave them a cued recall. In other words, he would say the cue cat, and participants then had to remember the word that went with this. Bower found that participants who were asked to mentally produce an image linking the pair of words could recall 80% of the words when given cued recall, whereas non-imagers recalled only 45%. This supports the value of double encoding.